Hello, my name is Kip Carr, and I wanted to take this brief opportunity to give my thoughts on Black History Month as we are concluding African American History Month for 2018. As we reflect on the meaning as well as the countless men and women or heroes and sheroes that have done some pretty remarkable things despite very, very difficult odds. Just a few days ago, I made a post on my Facebook page about the fact that it seems like every single year we see countless Facebook posts, public service announcements recognizing the same exact people. Now, I'm not trying to minimize or throw shade at any of them. Each of their contributions have been meaningful and have made a difference in building the fabric of this great nation. Well, basically, I think that we've gotten lazy. And what I mean is we go through this process of Black History Month every single year. It's almost like going through the motions rather than taking the time to really explore these figures and to even discuss why in 2018 is African American History Month so important. When Dr. Carter G. Woodson established what was then known as the study for Negro life and history in 1915, the effort to set aside a special time period for the commemoration of African American history in America was remarkable. And it was called one of the most fortunate steps ever taken by the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. Throughout my life, from the time I was in elementary school, when what was then called Negro History Week became Black History Month, one question that I've always been asked, I've been asked consistently, is why February and why is there a Black History Month? Well, the answer, quite simple, is Dr. Woodson sought a time frame between the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass as a period to celebrate Black achievement, because those dates were already recognized in many African American communities across the country, and President Lincoln and Frederick Douglass then and now are known as outstanding symbols of freedom in America. I would think that Dr. Woodson would largely be in awe of the transformation of his Negro History Week into African American History Month. But one thing that I think Dr. Woodson would be sad about is the fact that, from my vantage point, we are not doing enough to properly document all of the history of all of our people. What am I talking about? 34 years ago, last month, a young high school student in Southern Kentucky was selected to serve as a student representative on his local Board of Education, and is widely believed to be the first such African American to serve in that capacity. 6 years later, that same young freedom fighter, after relocating to the state of West Virginia, became the first African American to run for political party office in Jefferson County, the same Jefferson County that John Brown was tried and hanged some 130 years before. Yet, in the annual Black History observances in those two remarkable communities where these noteworthy achievements occurred, for whatever reason, have been overlooked and disregarded for far too long and for far too often, either out of convenience or perhaps an effort to essentially rewrite history as if these things never happened. Ralph Ellison, in his novel Invisible Man, wrote, "I am invisible simply because people refuse to see me. When they approach me, they only see my surroundings, themselves, or figments of their imagination. Indeed, everything and anything except me." I believe that we are going against the whole reason Dr. Carter G. Woodson created what has become African American History Month. When we fail to promote, research, preserve, interpret, and disseminate information about African Americans all throughout the country. I have always been steadfast in continuing Dr. Woodson's mission, from writing letters to the editor of my local newspaper, talking about the achievements of local African American unsung heroes, to instituting a series of Did You Know short talks while attending State Street Baptist Church in Bowling Green in the mid-90s. Today, through social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the process of recognizing significant achievements has been made somewhat easier. And we also have remarkable tools at our disposal, such as StoryCorps, which is an independent, non-profit project whose mission is to honor and celebrate the lives of everyday Americans by listening to their stories. And it's gotten so easy, you can actually download the app on your iPhone or Android, speak into your smartphone, and you are recording and documenting precious history that would be part of the Library of Congress. Lastly, this is an appropriate time to challenge everyone to do more than they've ever done before to preserve the rich history that lies within our own communities. All of us, no matter who we are, where we live, what we wear, what we eat, what we watch on TV, all of us have unique experiences, unique perspectives. And those perspectives need to be shared. And it's really, really up to us to make sure that that happens. It's up to us to work to ensure that our perspective, our experiences are maintained and preserved, not for us, because it's not about the here and now, but for future generations, to give them a sense of our lives through our very own thoughts, words, and deeds. We cannot depend on anyone else to do it for us. We have to do it ourselves. As to what happened to the young student who blazed trails on a local school board in Kentucky and political party office in West Virginia, well, in 2009, that same young man became the first African American elected to head a historical society in Metro Atlanta, and in 2015 was elected treasurer of a state political party, unseating a popular state legislator. Now, I don't know if that qualifies me, Kip Carr, to be a trailblazer or a hero, but I'm very, very blessed of all the things that I have accomplished in my life, and I feel a responsibility to properly record all of my experiences, as it is your responsibility to talk about what's going on and what you have had to endure. I'm just as proud of all of the untold stories by all of our heroes and sheroes that's waiting to be told. There are so many stories that's out there. And that's what I challenge everyone to do, is to use this time, this period between Black History Months. If you have an older person that's in your family or in your neighborhood or at your church, sit them down and interview them. Get their perspective, and you will be richly rewarded for it. I leave you with a quote from Alice Walker, who wrote A Color Purple and so many incredible novels. She writes, "To acknowledge our ancestors means we are aware that we did not make ourselves, that the line stretches all the way back, perhaps to God or the gods. We remember them because it's an easy thing to forget that we are not the first to suffer, rebel, fight, love, and die. The grace with which we embrace life, in spite of the pain, the sorrow, is always a measure of what has gone before." Thank you so much for listening. And if you have a group in your community that you would love for me to sit down and talk to, reach out to me. I would love to do that. But I hope this has been an engaging, informative African American History Month for you. And we'll definitely be in touch. Until then, take care.